Right now on 13 News Weekend Edition, with the government shutdown, will lawmakers on both sides of the aisle be able to reach an agreement? Plus, a local art center dimmed their lights for a good cause today. We'll have the details on the special event. And we're finally starting to see a warm-up in our region. How long will it last? Meteorologist Alita Donnelly has the answers coming up.
Working for you. 13 News Weekend Edition starts now.
Lawmakers went to work on day 2 of the federal government shutdown, looking for a way to end it. Leaders on both sides blamed the other, while a group of moderate Republicans and Democrats tried to come up with a compromise they could support. Weijia Jiang reports from Capitol Hill, where the Senate went home for the night and a shutdown will go into a third day.
Senators piled into the elevator after bipartisan talks to get the government back open.
We're making progress. We're making progress. We agree on that.
A group of moderate Republicans and Democrats is looking for a way to pass a 3-week funding bill.
The senators in that room believe we're all losing when it comes to government shutdown.
And to secure a guarantee, Congress will address so-called dreamers, undocumented immigrants brought to this country illegally as children.
We want to see a commitment to take up immigration and with a belief that we'll get to a good result for dreamers.
The shutdown started Saturday morning after the Senate failed to pass a spending bill. So far, the impact has been seen at some national park sites, but federal workers are bracing for Monday, when hundreds of thousands could be on unpaid leave. Several lawmakers are expressing concern that if they don't resolve this now, each side will just dig in even more.
That is absolutely critical that we not continue this, number one, on behalf of the country, but I think also resolution gets more difficult the longer we wait.
And there's already lots of finger pointing.
Democrats voted to shut down the government because they're impatient to get a solution for these DACA young adults.
All along, the president's saying, well, I'll do DACA and Dreamers in return for the wall. He's got it. Can't take yes for an answer.
The White House called Senator Schumer's account false and said the president's not negotiating on immigration while Democrats hold the government and, quote, our troops hostage. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called for a vote tonight, but Minority Leader Chuck Schumer objected. The Senate will be back in session tomorrow at 10 a.m., and we spoke to Congressman Evan Jenkins earlier in the day. He said the House is on standby, ready to vote if the Senate passes a different version of the continuing resolution. Jenkins and Senator Joe Manchin and Congressman David McKinley all took action to have their pay withheld during the shutdown. Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence visited the troops at an undisclosed military base on the Syrian border. Pence addressed the troops, in part discussing the government shutdown and how it affects military members' pay.
Despite bipartisan support for a budget resolution, a minority in the Senate has decided to play politics with military pay. But you deserve better. You and your families shouldn't have to worry for 1 minute about whether you're going to get paid as you serve in the uniform of the United States. So know this, your president, your vice president, and the American people are not going to put up with it.
The vice president also added the discussions on illegal immigration will not continue until the government shutdown ends. Well, as for military here in the Mountain State, Adjunct General James Hoyer says, quote, West Virginia National Guard employees, technicians, and active Guard Reserve members will report to duty as scheduled Monday to implement an orderly shutdown of activities. Now, spokeswoman Captain Holly Nelson says 2,000 full-time staff members and 900 federal technicians will show up tomorrow, and about 400 active Guard Reserve and some technicians will continue working without pay to ensure West Virginians remain safe. And in Washington, D.C., all government operations except the most essential ones, such as armed forces and some mailing services, are at a standstill. The last government shutdown, you'll remember, went on for 16 days back in October of 2013. But unlike before, the Trump administration encouraged national park officials to keep sites open with just partial staffing. Well, temperatures really warmed up this weekend. People took advantage of the nice weather today. We're going to show you some video of skaters enjoying the day at Coonskin Park. Definitely a much different picture compared to last weekend. But will these warm temperatures stick around? Meteorologist Alita Donnelly in the Storm Tracker 13 Weather Lab with your first forecast.
Hey Alyssa, it's still mild out across the area as we're seeing a temperature of 49 right now in Charleston, 56 in Huntington, 58 in Louisa, 51 in Winfield, 49 in Point Pleasant, even up in Parkersburg. 51 degrees, so definitely a very mild night across the area. And good news is that's going to be the case as we do head later into the overnight hours. Now, Storm Tracker 13 HD Dual Live Doppler radar showing some of those light showers still moving through the area. Good news is that just sprinkles are coming out of these showers, and we are not expecting flooding as we do head through your overnight hours. Low temperatures tonight, it's going to be 46 in Charleston, 45 in Huntington and Winfield, 44 in Point Pleasant, 45 in Parkersburg, and 47 in Portsmouth. So definitely at the bus stop tomorrow morning, you won't be needing that winter jacket as those temperatures will be staying mild, but you still might want to grab a sweatshirt.
Well, just as we are, Energy Rock Gym is shaking off the snow. The Charleston business hosted its 7th annual Snow Monkey Bouldering competition. As you can see, rock climbers from around the country came to compete in beginner, intermediate, and advanced categories. The indoor rock wall with all new holds puts competitors' strength to the test.
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, rock climbing's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a great way to work out. It's a great way to stay fit, and it's just fun to do. It challenges you mentally just as much as it does physically.
As you can see, this is a great place for enthusiasts to keep their skills sharp when the weather is bad. You can check them out every evening during the week from 5 to 9. Well, it's a little more quiet than usual over at the Clay Center today. On Sensory Sunday, all the lights are dimmed and the sound is lowered. This gives kids with autism or sensory processing disorders a calm and subdued way to enjoy all the fun the Clay Center has to offer. Parents say the environment is less stressful for them and their kids.
It's very much a wonderful thing because he enjoys this stuff so much, and this gives him an opportunity to come and play, and I don't have to worry as much.
Now, Sensory Sunday does happen 4 times a year, so if you missed out, don't worry. We'll keep you updated as to when the next event is coming up. Well, today was the last day to check out hundreds of shiny new cars at the West Virginia International Auto Show. Fords, Toyotas, Jeeps, and more were on display all throughout the Charleston Civic Center. You can even test drive a few select vehicles. And now you can see from cars to trucks to luxury vehicles, there was something for everyone. Still ahead tonight, marches for women's rights continue across the nation this weekend. We'll take you to some of the biggest rallies and their importance on the future of the country. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, as we told you yesterday, women gathered from all across West Virginia in support of women's rights and the importance of voting. The marches continued around the U.S. today, and the largest rally was in Las Vegas, Nevada, where speakers pushed women to register to vote. Laura Podesta reports on the turnout.
Another wave of women's marches hit the streets Sunday. Those gathering in Orlando, Florida, said they were marching in solidarity with the Me Too movement to end violence and sexual misconduct.
There's a lot of people are being sexist without realizing it. So the point is to get out there and educate them. How can you be helpful? How can you make a difference?
In Phoenix, speakers represented all faiths and cultures and highlighted the importance of America being a melting pot.
We are resilient. We are strong, we are beautiful, and we are here to stay.
And in Las Vegas, thousands turned out for Power to the Polls, a push to get women to register to vote. Exactly 1 year ago, millions marched around the country for women's rights, marking the largest single-day demonstration in U.S. history. Political strategists say since then, more women have not only registered to vote, but according to the website Emily's List, at least 26,000 have signed up to run for office. The Women's March has been criticized for only representing women on one side of the aisle. There were small counter-protests around the country, including this clash in Portland, Oregon.
And I just think that after 8 years of one president, that we got to be able to express ourselves, and now that Trump is our president.
Like last year, this year's Women's March was a global one with organized events on 6 continents. This rally was in Toronto, Canada, and in London, England. Protesters rallied outside the office of British Prime Minister Theresa May.
Have not yet been released, but on Saturday, 200,000 people came out to New York and more than 600,000 in Los Angeles. All right, we're taking a live look outside over Huntington. A mild, cloudy night, but things are really going to warm up for the work week. Meteorologist Alita Donnelly has your complete Storm Tracker 13 forecast coming up after the break.
Here's one last check of your 7-day forecast at the bus stop tomorrow morning. We'll see those temperatures in the mid-40s, so you might want to grab a medium weight jacket or even a sweatshirt on your way out the door. We warm up to 69 on Monday, then 49 on Tuesday. Behind a cold front, well, those 30s do return, but we're close to 40 on Wednesday, 44 on Thursday. By the time we get to next Friday, 57 degrees, and we're continuing to warm up as we head through next weekend as we see those temperatures soar back to over 60.
Wow, almost 70 tomorrow. That is really unbelievable.
I'm fine with that.
Wow. All right. Well, finally tonight, you may have seen the wildly popular inflatable T-Rex costumes around on Halloween, but the city of Portland was subject of a takeover this weekend. It all began with a Facebook event post calling for anyone with a T-Rex costume to descend on Monument Square. The event was organized by two women who let their imaginations run wild with their own costumes, including a wedding shoot between dinosaurs eloping at Portland City Hall. Organizers say the carnivores were gathering. It was all about just spreading smiles. And I feel like, how could you not smile like looking at that? That would be a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun, yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.